the session. Today, I'm very honored to get a chance to introduce one of the best and an expert in IP industry, Honorable Professor Dr. Gouri ma'am. Welcome ma'am. She is a PhD from IIT Bombay. She is a gold medalist for LLM in IPR. She has also achieved gold medal in MSc Industrial Microbiology. She is a registered patent agent, TIFAC scholar, PGDMLT, PGDPL Nalsar, UGC SET, PET, DL101. Over the last 23 years, ma'am has led and executed numerous innovative projects in academics as well as industry. As an IP teacher, researcher, constructor, consultant, information scientist, and patent attorney. Her teaching subjects are technology transfer, IP management, IP strategy, patent law, patent searching and drafting, etc. She has also helped several organizations in building their IPR cell, identifying potential IP, analyzing status of IPM system of an organization by applying various IP audit technologies. As a patent attorney, she has handled number of projects which include patent mining, patent drafting, oppositions and prosecutions. As an IP information scientist of Fortune 500 organization, she has handled various projects such as competitive intelligence, technology landscapes, FTOs and patentability search reports. Ma'am has received dozens of prestigious awards. I would like to mention few of them. WIPF Powerful Woman in IP 2021, DST Successful TIFAC Scientist 2021, Late Nani A. Palkhiwala Memorial Gold Medal, Late Justice MC Chagla Gold Medal, Justice Y.V. Chandrachud Award, and the list goes on. Thank you, ma'am. Now, looking at the paucity of time, I request Gouri ma'am to start the session and enlighten us with your knowledge. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. So the topic which is given, I directly come to the topic, and actually, although it is a conference, in between also, if you feel that you want some answer to some query or something like that, you can stop me and you can ask. There is no problem. Okay, be comfortable. Venturing into IP industry, relook through legal lenses. Okay, it's a wonderful topic actually. Generally, what happens that as a law student, we are like always think of judiciary, then we think of a litigation. Mostly we are in that kind of a mode. Let us see, when we are looking into the intellectual property, what different opportunities you can look into, because there are so many opportunities in IP. And I will say that this area is still niche considering Indian context actually. So let us see what are the different opportunities, how you can explore that particular. I will just keep my discussion as a little bit about IPR, then IP industry, IP and entrepreneurship, and then the case study. Okay, we'll just go through this way. Now, these are the few questions probably, and I feel that now if you are in a third year, probably you have got the answer that what is IPR or what is a patent, what is trademark, what is ID protection. All this kind of a queries probably you might have able to answer, and how I can protect it, what is the life of trademark. Can anybody help me quickly? What's the life of trademark? Copyright? Patent? After, okay, 60 years it is, only 10 years or we can renew it? We can renew it, which is an indefinite IP, which is an indefinite IP, only one or two IPs are there which are having indefinite life. What is that? Trade secret, okay, very good, or anything else? Very good, I like the point. I will just trace on that then now. Okay. Anything else? Yes? GI, very good. One more. One more. One more. Quickly. Traditional knowledge we will not consider into it. At least there are different opinions we will not consider. One more IP. Yes? Huh? No, no, no. Trademark is a renewable thing. You know, la, Siemens long back it is conceptualized. Now still Siemens is as is. Philips is as is. Tata is as is. No change, right? Okay. So we will look into, I guess I got the idea, means how you are exposed probably. Now, a third year, I guess only one subject is as IPR, if I correctly remember, right? Okay. Then IP portfolio, prior art search, especially if you are a science student, this patent is a area which you can explore. But other IPs, yes, anybody, means if arts, you are from arts background, probably copyright you are more interested. If you are from a commerce background, trademark, you are more interested. Again, if you are art, probably you are interested in design also, industrial design. So in that way, you can just think of that which is your area of interest and you can explore in that particular area. Okay. Just quickly now, I don't know whether the last you are able to see the what exactly is written there. What I have done here to just briefly give you idea, because we are talking about intellectual property. So I thought I should give you a little bit brush up that what exactly IP is, huh? And what are the different types of IPs are. So when I start with the IP, property, you know, immovable, movable, tangible, intangible, that is basic thing everybody know. When you enter into intangible thing, we talk about intellectual property and intellectual capital. It is mentioned there. Now, we will forget intellectual capital now. We will just focus on intellectual property. When we are talking about intellectual property, what exactly is there in intellectual property? Property Act you have learned. Transfer of Property Act you know. Contract Act you know. Everything is important when we are dealing with IP. When we are talking about intellectual property, we divide it into 8 types actually. Okay. Now what are these 8 types? Patent, copyright, trademark, industrial design. These 4 are very important when I am talking about any industry. Next is geographical indication. Then there is protection of plant varieties, farmers' right. Then there is a Semiconductor Layout Design Act, and then the trade secret, the good point you have mentioned, right? So that comes into the picture. Now, when we are talking about this particular 8 types of IPs, I will suggest now, you just think over now only. Suppose you are from a science background, probably patent is a good area for you. Keep it in your mind. If you have some background of agriculture or something, protection of plant varieties, farmers like act is very useful for you. And I tell you, there is lot much need about that particular domain. Means in IP, when we divide it into 8 domains, every area probably require a specialist. And there are requirement of so many specialists in India, definitely. Okay. So patent, very lucrative. Copyright, whole film industry is depending on it, copyright. You know, when I was in IIT Bombay, I just surprised to see that there was a one conference or summit, you can say, where many film industry people came and they have given their kind of opinion about that. And you know that Javed Akhtar ji, he's so kind of in the parliament also, if you have seen how he has kind of very much aggressive about IP, copyright. I should say aggressive because yes, unless until you will not kind of demand that particular right over that particular thing, you will not get it. And therefore, that is a very right approach. Then only you can make people aware that yes, that is right is there. You should give a due consideration for that particular IP. That copyright is there. Again, I will say that publishing industry copyright is very important. So if you enter into any book publications or any publishing house, copyright is very important. So if you are from not science background, but any other background, probably copyright is the area. Design area, in IIT Bombay, we were having special design school actually. And the placement of design school was very good because they are designing. So for example, this fan is there. This fan, the design is prepared by some designer who is a specialist in that industrial design preparation. So that is a 2-year course. So those who have that particular kind of aspect, a designer or artistic aesthetic value, Probably industrial design, you will enjoy working in that particular area. Then the last is kind of the trademark. Trademark, indispensable part. You do any activity, trademark is mandatory actually, right? So, and trademark, highest litigations you can see in trademark only. And the current scenario, trademark is the oldest IP. If you consider all other IPs, trademark. And if you are a commerce and a management background, probably you are a better person to do the trademark and the brand management. Okay, so that is your area. Semiconductor and Layout Design Act, if you consider, that is not that successful act because industry is not using it. The reason is very simple. The reason is that the you have to give a complete circuit design that is not expected when you are kind of doing the registration of semiconductor. It is like giving everything, and if you give everything, you will not able to compete in the market. So that is a reason why semiconductor layout design is not that much explored by industry or not used by industry. But in Pune only Bharat Forge is there. They have done the first semiconductor filing. Okay. Texas Instrument, I just give you glimpses actually so that you can get the idea that how much work is going on in that industry. Texas Instrument is a leader in the world in semiconductor. They never go for semiconductor design protection. They go for a patent protection. Can anybody guess what is the number of patents Texas Instrument might be having? Any guess? Number of patents they own? Any number quickly. Just auction you can say. It is not expected that you will know it, but just gauge it. Yes? A big giant, Texas Instrument, it is a leader in the world. Now you just give me number. 10,000. 10,000, any other number? Yes? Yes? Gauge, there is no harm in gauging, right? When you do auction, you try from lowest to higher then. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Okay, thoda और increase कीजिए. Not 1,50,000, somebody said, right? So it is around 55,000. Can you imagine now? Just imagine. 55 patents are there. To just management of 55,000, how many people will be required? Just imagine. That is the kind of, and that is one example I have given. Industry is so big. So what is the requirement? You can just gauge that requirement actually. So that is just giving you the idea of just patent filing. There are so many other things actually. Next is a geographical indication actually. This is association and definitely means some geographical indications are very successful, especially Darjeeling tea kind of the classic example that they are very successful and they have made a good brand actually, and they have made a benefit of that GI registration, and you know other GI registrations already. Next is the protection of plant varieties. If you are in agricultural industry and if you are in a plant breeding science background, or if your family background is somewhere agriculture, probably this act is very useful. All agricultural universities are, that is a mandatory for them that if they create any new variety, they have to register it. Otherwise, ICMR is taking a, not I say, Indian Agricultural Research Institute Delhi will take care of that particular thing. So that is a mandatory. Now you just imagine, I have just given you the glimpses that these varieties are there and you require a person to manage that particular thing. You just imagine an example of a Sanjay Leela Bansali production. One example I give you. Sanjay Leela Bansali production. Sanjay Leela Bansali have 7 trademarks on his name. Okay. Sanjay Leela, if you movie starts and you see the trademark first, Dharma Productions, Sanjay Leela Bansali, these are the trademarks actually. In the movie, what different types of IP come? Can anybody help me to understand that which type of IPs now will be there? Quickly. Copyright is there. Okay. So copyright will be on for script. Very good. Music. Very good. Huh? Choreography. Very good. Then? Yes. Direction. Okay. Huh? Lyrics. Very good. we have related rights. So which related rights will be there? Performance right, very good. Then, yes, anything else? So if this many kind of components are there, somebody will be required to manage all this thing. You can imagine the contract kind of agreements, how many agreements. So many people, performance are there, so many actors, actresses are working in that. They have to prepare that many contracts, and therefore one movie prepares this much kind of, or more than that will be the contracts that will be signed by various people who are involved in that particular, because all rights will be transferred to whom? Cinematographic film owner is, author is who? Who is author? Who is the owner for cinematographic film? As per law. So yes, so one who producing is who? That we call him. So producer, you can say. So producer is a legal owner of that, and you have to imagine that how many people will be involved. And you know that simple TV industry, you see how it works, and in every state it is working. In Bollywood it is working, Tollywood it is working. That's Indian scenario. You can imagine how much scope is there considering the copyright, right? That is the scenario actually, and people are they are not getting the right people to work on that particular that particular area actually. Okay, now when we are talking about these acts, special dedicated acts are there, right? And these acts are enacted, and according to act, legal actions, obviously criminal proceedings or civil proceedings you can initiate, and you can get the remedy to your clients if you are kind of presenting any client. One more only Biodiversity Act I will give you, so that you can understand what is the opportunity there. So do you know Biodiversity Board is there in India, right? Now this Biodiversity Board ka kaam kya hai? So whenever somebody do patenting activity using a natural resources, they will give you the certificate. And if you will not get that certificate, then your patent never be granted. So that much mandatory it is, right? Natural resources, that certificate is there. Now in Biodiversity Board, it is a government kind of organization. So this is a government job. You can apply there and you can get the government position there, the relevant position according to your qualification and all, and you can have that as an opportunity, right? Second example I can give you here, that material transfer agreements are there. Contract drafting or agreement drafting is our basic kind of a thing, right? We are expert in that. Now, material transfer agreement, I will give you simple one example. Thailand and Japan, I will give you that example, okay? In Thailand, there was a one small kind of a plant, or you can say weed, shrub, whatever, a plovonai. So that was the name of that plant. It was used in stomachache. Now Japanese people, what they have done, without permission of Thailand government, they have taken that plovonai and they have developed a medicinal, some medicine out of that. The result is like that. You know extinct varieties. The without controlling the kind of a removal or use, what happened, that completely affected the ecosystem also, and free of cost Japan has received that particular thing, and they have prepared medicine from where they have got the revenue. In turn, what Thailand has received? Nothing. So material transfer agreement is kind of a important thing which government imposes if somebody takes anything from Indian territory. So that is a mandatory actually. It may be intergovernmental kind of a thing, intergovernment and the private organizations outside, or government and the internal within territory, whatever private organizations or government organization, permission is mandatory. So you can imagine how many people will be required for that drafting material transfer agreement or something related, task related to that particular thing. And that way the Biodiversity Act is very important, okay? Other acts you can just imagine. In patent office, in trademark office, requirement is there, obviously. And again, if any litigation comes, now you know IPAB is no more. That opposition board is no more, which was there in the that setup is there. That is not there now, and all cases will be transferred after that instead of there to the High Court actually. So you can imagine the requirement in High Court actually. Probably in judiciary, special posts also may be created related to that. We never know, right? That special judge, IP judges and all that thing. because only now Honorable Pratibha Singh is handling in Delhi, and everybody knows how she efficiently handles that thing, and every state may have to copy that particular thing. So we will require such kind of a judges in every kind of a state. So that is another opportunity, a big opportunity. We never know when that kind of a step may happen by the government side, but that is probably required. Now, these are the few areas we will just focus on. Okay, I will just give a little bit management perspective now, and then the law perspective, and then teaching and judiciary. These are the various opportunities that we have actually as IP person. So what I have written first is a PAT informatics. So how many are science students here? Background of science or engineering? Okay. So this area, like patent area, in patent area, PAT informatics here in Pune, URDP is there in NCL. They are doing a great job actually. So if you do the PAT informatics, I tell you, probably you have heard the statements like after 10 years banks will not be there. After 10 years travel will be like on electric vehicles, so there will not be kind of a requirement of petrol. Pollution level will be decreased. All this kind of prediction probably you might have heard. Or nobody own the car, car will be kind of hired and that will be easily available. These are the kind of a predictions because of a technology. Now, why, how these predictions are coming up? And you know, Elon Musk has came in India now. He's working electric vehicle car and all that thing is going on. And definitely, obviously, we are shifting from that petrol fossil fuel to the. Who is doing that prediction? What is the authenticity of that prediction? All this is like a patent informatics actually. So where if you do analysis using a patents, we say that 70% of knowledge is not anywhere than the patent only. So if you read a latest patents in that particular area, you will get what exactly is going in that particular area. So you will be always ahead of time if you do the patent analytics. And then there are various uses. I can give you two more, so that there are so many, but we have a restriction on time. So I will give you two examples now. Suppose I want to hire a person in my company. I'm a big giant actually, and I want to tap a good human resource. The now that LinkedIn and everything kind of platforms are helping in HR recruitment actually. The previous ways of HR recruitment and all that thing, they are a little bit kind of not used nowadays. Placement in the college only, that is a trend now, because you know that companies are coming because they are getting the fresh minds and they know exactly the kind of competition and all that thing, and they get a best cream from that particular. So that is a very much good trend actually. The another trend is like that. Suppose somebody is working in particular area and I want to tap that particular person. So I will use a patent bibliographic information which is on the first page, and by using that I will kind of identify who is working in that area, who is the best in that particular area. And once I know that name of that particular area, I will try to get that inventor, and if that inventor is not ready, if he's a professor or somebody like that, I will make sure his student I can hire, so that I can get the information. You got the point how it is kind of worked in this way. So how people, and this is happening, that tracking of a human resource actually. This is one example. Second example, when mergers acquisitions happen and all that kind of activities, again PAT informatics plays a very important role, because we know the kind of a capability of a due diligence will be efficient if you use a PAT informatics. Okay, how to do? It's like a PAT informatics itself. You can have a something like a 4-credit course actually. Okay, so that is the one thing. Next is IP portfolio. I will give you two examples again. When I talk about IP portfolio, which is a company in the country, in the world, which is highest IP filing leader, always leader. Last 10 years, only one company is leading in IP patent filing. I am talking. Can you gauge what is the name of that company? Okay, before that, how many patents are filed yearly generally? What is the scenario, if anybody knows? By India or USA? By India, any idea? Patent filing? How much patent filing happens? Yes? Just gauge. We are 1.33 billion people, and what is the kind of a patent filing by us? 4,000, okay. 1.3 billion people, yeah. 36,000. In between that, the number is 4,000 and 36,000. 10,000 plus, okay, very good. Yes. Somebody said 15. So actually, we are near about 18 to 20,000 considering Indian resident. Overall patent filing in 50,000 to 55,000. That is a scenario. Very shameful actually, because I just give you USA number now. That what might be the USA number? Definitely more than this. But how much? Yes? Somewhere in lakhs it is, yeah. So almost it is a 3 lakhs plus is a patent filing by USA residents actually. Overall something around 6 lakhs kind of a scenario. Per month, per week actually they file 5,000 patents. This is the scenario. Okay, this is the statistics I have given you. Now you just tell me if this is a statistics, any company, how much patent they can file yearly? USA company, give me idea. And which might be the leader. You know that you use a product of that company. Apple, no, you are coming to industries, correct? Microsoft, Apple, okay. Google, okay. Anything else? But you have taken a good names actually. But the leader is Microsoft, no. IBM. IBM, okay. So IBM files almost 9,000 to 10,000 patents yearly actually. 9,000 is general approximate number. They are last almost 10 years. They are leader in IP filing. And you can just imagine now, if they are filing 9,000 per year, and they generally don't file a patent only in USA. Generally, if you see the giants, once they file a patent, they will go in almost 100 countries at least, wherever their market is. Okay, you can imagine the load of work on IP management, patent management only. So, and they have to kind of do renewals and the all compliances and all that thing. And then this IP portfolio, suppose now Texas Instrument 55,000, Siemens something around 60,000. Now, if I want to manage that 60,000 patents yearly, I will require definitely a good team of people, right? Who is that? People like us. They require that people who are expert in law, who know the technology, and who have a good experience in that particular IP litigation and IP management, right? So if we are there, definitely means now if you see IBM and Pfizer, these are the companies where only IP portfolio management may be done by some 50 to 100 very well experienced people. They are working in that domain maybe 30 years, 40 years. So you can imagine how at a micro level they are managing their IP. Okay, and this is the place probably we will get the chance. Definitely Google, Microsoft, they are leader in IP filing. Google with Alphabet now entered into AI, and they are very well. Their management style too, it's very different. Google come. I will not share it now here actually, but they have a very different IP management style. Very intelligent actually. Okay, now they have came competition with WhatsApp, right? Chat they have started, right? We never know WhatsApp will be obsolete in few days. We never know, right? Then IP auditing. Actually, this is my near and dear topic, IP audit, and my PhD is in that topic. I feel that every academic institute, industry, they require auditing actually. And this auditing is IP auditing I'm talking, not finance auditing. Because this auditing actually is do the process and performance audit actually. Then there is a due diligence, general event, then event specific, all these kind of types are there. So that is a specific area, and this is the highest paid. If you go into law firm and you say that you are entering into IP audit, probably you will be high paid kind of a job. It actually, yeah. Finance auditing is definitely the overall financial thing of the companies taken into consideration or organization, whatever it may be. So, for example, if I take this college only, and I presume that there are arts, commerce, and science streams actually. Okay? Suppose if I do that thing, whatever finances are there, admission fee, salary, all this kind of management and purchase, all this thing will come into financial management. When I go for IP audit, I will just focus on intellectual capital and a generation of intellectual property. So my stakeholders are like here, all students, faculty, laboratory people, and then I will see what are the processes you are following for intellectual property generation, commercialization, administration, all these things I will go into that particular details, and I will check whether you are doing a right thing. Performance level is what, whether you are at a on the scale of 0 to 10, whether you are at a 0 level or you are at a 10 level, and then I can put you at a particular level, after doing that IP audit, I can say that you are at this level and you do this thing and you will reach to this level. So that is something like a IP auditing. Just now in Pune, only one college, I am working on project with them, and the 1-year project, so that we can go from that current status, whatever the IP status is there, to that next level, whatever, because there are 5 levels of IP maturity. So that we have to kind of achieve in that particular 1 year. We should go at least from this 0 level, defensive level, we talk about that thing, up to at least a visionary. Visionary, it is very difficult, but at least a integrative kind of a level we have to reach. So I have kept a target of 1 year. Let us see how we can do that thing. And on 26th now, World IP Day is there. So we have decided to announce the score of each department actually. So we have started working on that. We can do that very easily actually. Some frameworks are there. I have that frameworks also. So anybody can use that framework actually, and you can see where exactly you are standing considering the intellectual property creation and what is your score actually, IP score actually. Okay, I guess that it's very quickly I have given. It's a big kind of a topic actually. IP valuation, when I'm talking, again, there is a lag in the country, I will say in the world, people, there are no experts, that many experts which are required for IP valuation. Tomorrow, if somebody say, do the valuation of this hall, 100 people are available for valuation. Jitna banks hai, wo sabke lawyers are ready to come here and do valuation, right? But if I say you have to do this many intellectual capital is there, I want to do valuation of that intellectual capital. Very rare. You will not get a hardly 1 or 2 people will able to do the valuation of you as intellectual capital, and that scarcity is there. So there are cost method, market method, and all these methods are there. My student is actually she was working in IP valuation. So IP audit, evaluation, and valuation, they are so connected, and that are the very good areas actually to explore. When if you do some research and practice, then these are the very high paid job actually. Portfolio management, very high paid job. Patent analytics goes with the business analytics in the corporate. Again, it is the general package is 18 to 20 lakhs around. That is a kind of a average package I am telling you. That is the scenario. IP bank loan and insurance actually. Bank loan you are aware about. How IP is you are giving IP, that patent, as a mortgage and as a security, and in turn you are getting the loan for that particular thing. I just give one example and we move. One of my client, we have filed the patent actually for his patent. I can just already it is filed, so I can tell you what it about. It is something about organ transportation, and this box, whatever he has created, it is like he claims that with that you can transfer that organ from one place to another as is without any damage to that organ. Need of time actually. And to his patent, immediately bank has sanctioned 3 crores rupees actually. So that is a kind of a valuation they are doing. Getting from property and loan, suppose you go and valued it as 3 crore and they are ready to give him 3 crore. He said that I don't want, I want 1 crore only. So that is kind of done with that. So that is I just give example. Insurance, I give you example. We do insurance of building, car, our bike and home, shops. Insurance now done for copyright, for patents and for IP also. Why? A simple example I give you. Apple and Samsung fought for that simple, that design, curvature of that mobile, you know that thing. That litigation went in billions, you probably know. $1 billion litigation it was, right? any IP litigation if starts, it is of that kind of a level, dollars, it goes in billion, usse to niche aata hi nahi hai. Okay, so if that kind of a scenario is there, if insurance is there, probably you are not safe, that at least you can get that litigation cost actually will be given by that insurance, whatever you are doing. When I was working in previous organization, we used to do insurance because our project was copyright driven. Copyright was the main thing, and we have done the insurance for that particular thing. Okay, next, IP ticketing is one of the strategy actually. So ticketing is, so I will not go in detailing. That strategy is another thing, IP strategizing and all that thing. It's again big topic, but you require an expert who know that IP strategies to handle the IP portfolio of the company. Okay, so that is another field. IP management itself, you know, now every organizations require IP manager. In academic institute also technology officers are required, and the technology officers, if they have a IP background, technology and IP background, it is much preferred kind of a, then technology transfer officers are required. So this is a very lot many vacancies are there considering that particular area. Tech transfer again is a very challenging kind of a field. Very few people and few organizations do that particular activity. The rate of success of tech transfer currently is very less. Just example I have given, I'm just trying that, yes, if I could make that success is 20%, 30%, 40%. If I'm just aiming that at least I can move above that in that particular project. Let us see. That is a kind, because technology transfer and IP management, these are two 4-credit courses separate. We are teaching in IIT Kharagpur actually. So we have a technology transfer dedicated 4-credit course. I have an opportunity to take that subject, and IP management is my specialization only. So we are kind of offering that courses. So students are like trained along with our all 7 IPs into that, these 2 subjects also. Okay. Then law firm you are very well aware about. So I will not go into details of that. Paralegal, I will not go into details because you know the paralegal things. Considering IP, I am talking. IP is so time bound that if we miss 1 hour also, if patent filing is of today, 5:30 is the time. Nowadays online is there, so they accept up to 12 o'clock, there is no problem. But if we miss that timeline of that particular day, your patent goes into the public domain. So that losses are there. Or if you don't give that request for examination, your patent is completely going to the public domain. So time bound, it is a very much time bound. This is, I will say, the only area which is so much advanced, because in India, you know that when you go into law, you say that, oh, ye to chalta rahega, day pe day, date pe date, and all that thing. IP, it is never. It is such a time bound that you go into patent office. Now, sir was telling that there will be kind of a litigation online and all that thing. We do all this thing in patent office now only. In patent office, we never enter into patent office for any kind of a hearing. All hearing is online through conference. Patent office does not accept physical copies. Actually, they encourage the online copies only. Even they will not allow agent to give the physical filing. They will not allow. That is the kind of a scenario. If you are an agent, you have to do everything online. Okay. Even for the individuals who are not filing as an applicant, they encourage you do a online filing. That is a patent office scenario. You go in Antofil, you go any of the Dwarka or in Chennai offices, they will not allow you to, they don't want anybody physically to come into the office, do everything online, including the hearing. So that is already implemented and it is efficiently going on into the patent office. So court will run in online mode, that is not a great thing, but yeah, that judges, they want to see the kind of by seeing that person, probably many times they take certain decisions actually. So I don't know whether that will be happening, but in certain cases, definitely that hybrid mode may be possible in the court actually. Okay. Then teaching is another thing, because in universities, IP subjects are now compulsory. They are, government is pushing that thing. So teachers who are trained in that intellectual property area are required, right? Special efforts are made for that particular thing. So we require IP teachers. So that is another area. Sector specific opportunities are there. MSME have a separate need. Film industry, I have given the need. Automobile industry have their own needs. So medical instrumentation have their own needs. So sector specific needs are there. So we have to kind of tap that opportunities also. Then judiciary, I have told you just now. IP offices, every time the two exams I can just tell you. One is as an examiner. If you want to do job as an examiner, either trademark examiner or a patent examiner or other kind of IPs are there, examiner for that. Government take an exam for that. It is a central government job. So that is a great opportunity. Online UPSC kind of a online that all India level exam will be conducted, and then you will get the opportunity. Permanent job, government job. The another thing is that if you want to enter into the practice, so for bar, you giving you exam, right? And then you practice in as an advocate, right? Now here in patent offices, you have to give patent agent exam. Now it is on 8th pay. Trademark agent exam is there separately. So you can appear for that exam. By default, as you are a lawyer, you are a trademark agent. You need not to give that examination. Okay, so that is a one important thing. So that exams are there. One more opportunity I want to tell you. If you are a woman, TIFAC runs a very wonderful course that is a TIFAC scientist. That course is there. All India, they take examination. You can just keep watch on a TIFAC website. And generally around December, they announce that particular thing. And from all over India, they choose some, nowadays they are choosing some 100 to 120 women, and they give a special training for intellectual property, 1 year training with a scholarship. Okay. So probably that is another area you can explore. Then in various universities, we have a IP chair, IPR chairs actually. We need a research assistants, research associates in that area. So that is another opportunity if you are kind of interested in IP research. So that is another opportunity, okay? So mostly IITs, national law schools, and sometimes in IIMs you can see the IPR chair. Currently I guess 16 or 17 IPR chairs are there in India. So that is another thing. IP watchdog is another thing. I just give you one example, then you can understand it very easily. Just means today only evening I probably meet my previous client. Before joining IIT Kharagpur, I used to do practice. So the client was from Pune only. Now issue is like that. You file a patent actually, and many people copy that patent, right? And when they copy, obviously they are taking your market share. So it is a clear patent infringement case. But we are not aware about that how exactly we should proceed for a infringement action, enforcement action on that particular thing. Law has already given criminal action and civil action. So probably you have to kind of check which action you want to take, and immediately you have to take action. Now, the patent which we have filed, it is granted. It is so successful that he has implemented at many places. But if you are a successful, people will copy, right? And if they are copying it, it is an illegal thing in case of a patent. And he has to take action. This is a one case. Another of our client was there. He has done some instrument related to manure actually. It was so successful that probably he has done a business of something around 100 crores with that single instrument actually. It's in crores actually. And one patent is sufficient for you to build that giant actually. Now, if this is the kind of a scenario, we have filed that patent in 26 countries. Now, this patent, so many people have copied. The height of copy was like that. They have copied website as it is. Can you imagine? So that was a kind of I was just surprised by seeing this thing. That the height of even yesterday also I was talking with one of my NPTEL student actually. Student in a sense is a big businessman in Gujarat actually. He want to file a trademark. But he is also sharing the same example that how his brand is now so successful, his trademark is successful, how people are kind of copying his trademark actually. So all these things are happening. We need a lawyers to handle that thing. Now today in my mind, to whom I can recommend him to handle his case of I will obviously suggest criminal action. That is a fast because, and you can have a deterrent effect on the clients also, so that nobody will dare now to copy that particular thing. But I am in confusion to whom I can suggest who know IP also and CRPC properly. So that person I am looking for actually. So that is a need actually. So just think over this kind of a specialization. Probably that will help. Okay. How much much time is there? I guess it is overshoot actually. Huh? So I guess what I will do, I will stop here. But I want to just give you one kind of a Google example, and then I can conclude. Who are they? Larry and Page, okay, Google founder. Huh? When they were in the college only, they have started this company, you know, Stanford University. And it was like a page ranking patent they have filed. With that one patent, they have started Google. And you know what is the current scenario. Sundar Pichai is now CEO of that. And now they have restructured it because they have expanded their work. They are working on sensors and artificial intelligence, driverless cars. All these things are going on. Even Asha Bhosleji is a mentor for them because they are working in a singing and artificial intelligence, something like that they are working on. So all these things are going on actually. So they have kind of restructured it. Alphabet is a thing. Now you just imagine that they have started with a single patent. Entrepreneurial activity is a important thing. Your need is required by all startups because startups do not know how to manage their IP. All lawyers who are expert in IP are required by startups actually. So here, if you see, they have started with this particular company, and then with single patent they have moved up to the kind of um, uh, the current scenario, and single patent was sufficient, and you know that their portfolio is increased and all that thing, and obviously they require people for that particular thing. Okay, I will just skip all these things if anything is there because we have a paucity of time. These 5 points only just as an entrepreneur they will focus on. Probably our help as a lawyer may be required to them for developing their portfolio, for making them aware of IP rights of others, because infringement is a very harmful. You know, Google case of infringement of copyright. Google started scanning of books, and it was a big slap on Google that they have to give a big kind of amount as a fine to the government. Actually, that was a kind of a scenario. Obviously, when we say observe your competition, patent analytics is required. We are required again there, and then compete with yourself. We have to give them the futuristic kind of a white space mapping so that they can develop their portfolio. So what I will do, I will just take a pause here. I will stop here, and if you have any queries, let me know. Okay. This is a course actually, entrepreneurship and IP strategy, dedicated on the IP strategy. Enrollment will start next month actually for that course. It is a free course. So if you want to know a little more about IP, probably this will be helpful for you. If any questions are there, most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for such insightful session.